All right, guys, welcome back. Hopefully everybody's day's been going well so far. Today we're going out and taking the New York Rangers on our trip to try and win the Stanley Cup in just 1 year. So taking a look at the Rangers, they have a pretty interesting team to say the least here, because we got the Trouba, we got the Panarin contracts to worry about, 11.6. The Trouba's $8 million a year. So the cap space for the Rangers currently sitting at about $2 million. It's gonna be tough to navigate that, I think, here, because you got the younger guys like Adam Fox, great players. This team might make playoffs without making too many big moves. We really can't make too many big moves, to be completely honest. We have to be very careful with the moves we make with this team because of the guys getting paid so much money. We'll take a look here at the filter in it. Mark Stahl. Stahl is somebody, if we could dump the Stahl contract, though, that would help out in the long run, because what I'm thinking here is it's probably going to be a guy like, what's his face? Capo Caco that we have to trade to try to pick somebody else up for, because I'm assuming he still has a relatively low overall based on the way he's been playing this season. But yeah, so Stahl could go. Kreider, I don't mind the Kreider. They updated the Kreider contract. How about that? Good for EA. They're on top of it right now. They had his contract updated already, but that shouldn't affect us because he's here just for this one season. Smith's making $4 million a year, 3, and Ryan Strome fast is 80 overall. I thought he was lower than that. He's not. There's Kakko, a 79 overall, so that's tough. Lemieux, same story, is cheap though. I don't know if Lemieux holds any trade value or not. We'll have to take a look at that. Let's look at the lines here real quick to see what these Rangers are working with here. We are in a win right now phase. Everybody keep that in mind here when you see us trading away the future like Capo Caco. It's do or die. Win the Stanley Cup this year or we're out of here. We're probably going to be out of here regardless. But they get a look at this team. Zibanejad, Panarin, and Buchnevich is on the first line. So it's not a bad first line. Caco's on his second. That's going to need some serious work there. Ryan Strome and then Chris Kreider. Looking at the third line is Fast, Hedl, and Lemieux. Again, I don't like, wow, Goche. What are you doing clear down here at a, 73 overall. Holy. Howden is 78. Yeah, so we got I'm going to say right away, for the Rangers, it's probably going to be a team that's very important just to grab a couple free agents real quick. Because we don't want to, again, it's tough to make the trades for players that hold a decent contract value, first of all. And obviously, they're going to cost us a lot of assets too. But we need to try to do something to kind of build up this bottom six. I don't think we're too far away because of Zibanejad, because of Panarin. I think that top six can produce points if we can pick up another winger there. But the bottom six needs work. We didn't quite look at how they're looking from a defensive standpoint. Not the greatest. I don't like the sniper on the third line, but it might work. Definitely do not like seeing the power forward at a 73 overall. I can tell you that right now. Haley's not terrible. It is Haley, right? Is it Haley or Hallie? I feel like he's 33 and I should know how to say it, but I don't. It should be Haley, but for some reason it just seems too easy to be Haley. The defense, though, Trouba's only an 85. DeAngelo, we have Stahl, we have Fox. Again, Stahl's probably got, wow, what is with the Rangers? Now you see why they're not a playoff team. EA's got their entire bottom six and bottom four deep pair in his 70s. We might have to try to find a defenseman that's on free agency. I don't know the last time we tried to sign a defenseman on free agency. Man, all of a sudden that Mark Stahl deal, we might have to completely, I don't know, get rid of Kakko and hope and pray that we can find some defense. I didn't realize this team was this depleted in this game, but they are at the end of the day. So this is going to be kind of tough. A little bit more difficult than I thought. It's almost, I hate to say it, worse than some of the, like the Devils that we just worked with here. Granted, they have Zibanejad and Panarin that we're going to get to work with. But besides that, it's like, man, those bottom six, that's tough. That's going to be a tough look for us here. We'll do our best to make it work, though. We'll start over here in free agency. Again, we're probably going to go into Vanek. And, we could get McQuaid, too, or Phaneuf. Entry-level guys, 79 overalls. Again, we was already talking about who we have right now. It's not a big difference. I like maybe McQuaid better. I was going to say I like McQuaid better. He looks like a guy that isn't really the offensive type, obviously, but that's not a big deal. He's going to be on a bottom line anyway. I'd like to see that defense stick out. Him and Phaneuf, they'll have rather similar stats from a defensive standpoint here, so we might just go with Phaneuf on this one. We'll send Phaneuf the contract. Wait, hang on. Was it Phaneuf or McQuaid that was looking at there? It might have actually been, no, it's Phaneuf. Okay, it's Phaneuf. Just making sure there. And he's a two-way guy. The two-way guys usually seem to fit in a little bit better here, so we'll go with Phaneuf, who is currently 34 years young. He just wants an entry-level deal, it looks like, which is great. We'll go a little bit more than that and see if he takes that. Hopefully understands he has a spot on his team with us. Vanek, same story. I don't think we can question it. He's a forward line 2 potential guy. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter right now with these guys, whether they fit on the team or not, because what we have right now is not going to work. You can't leave 73, 74 overalls on this team and expect to win games. At the very least, we can trade these guys away if, the time comes, but right now, we got to send them that money if we can. We give them a little bit more than they want, all 3 of them. I don't think we have anybody else to worry about here. Can we RFA somebody? That'd be a good time. Imagine being able to jump straight into franchise mode and just out the door, RFA, Elias Pettersson. Pettersson got 1 year left, right? He's got 1 year next year, and then he's off the entry-level deal. So we'll get this simmed out of the way here real quick, just to see if these guys take that money. What do we got? A good 2 days, I would assume? Probably 2 days. Nice to see the new salary cap. I hope it's not just... I hope not. I see, the thing is, with the contract acceptance, sometimes you don't get the notification, and they just... when they accept it, they put you right on the team. So let's make sure they didn't either A, decline it, or A, B, accept them here real quick. That is not free agents. That would be our contracts. I don't know what you're looking for, pal. You're not going to find the free agents. Well, you could find a free agents on your team. Who might get in here? But we'll go to free agents, free agents, free agents. Oh, it's right there. We have it right by it. No wonder we clicked on it. Free agents. Here we go. It is. Okay, they're still all out there. All right, we got to go one more day. Wasn't sure, didn't want to take the chance, because the last thing we want to do is get too far into, the season here where we're actually costing ourselves games, or the sim of real life games here, or regular season games here, to see if these guys take the money. I was extremely happy to accept. Perfect. Extremely happy to accept. And extreme. All right. Perfect. Got all 3 of them. Good. Needed to see that for the Rangers. Provide a little bit of depth for this team. Hopefully help this team win some games. No, I don't want an advanced game. We'll be all right. We'll be all right. We'll go with... Actually, let's see what EA thinks if we just go EA best lines here real quick. Just take a look what they're saying. No, actually, that's not what I was thinking, EA. That wasn't it. That really wasn't it. If they put these guys in the AHL, and they probably did, it drives me nuts how they do that. Like, these are NHL guys, and they sent these puppies straight to the AHL. So we're going to have to roster move all 3 of these guys. All 3 of these guys will be on the 3rd line, 4th line, depending, where we put them here. But they're roster guys. And EA's like, let's just... Oh, we got... Okay. Hello, Libor Hayek. Hayek? Is it Hayek? I feel like Hayek's proper. It's probably not. 78? That might work for us. He's still a depth guy, though. So we'll see what happens there down the road for now. But we're going to have to find defensemen. It's going to come down to what the salary cap's looking like of who we end up putting on that 3rd line there. So we'll wait and see, but it's just something nice to keep in mind that we have those 3 guys there. We'll send these guys all up and those guys all down. That'll work there. Now EA best lines us, and let's see what we have to work with here from this standpoint. I want to say we're going to have to go with some offense and some defense. Thankfully, we signed all those guys in free agency, and EA's best lines were like, we're just not going to play them. It'll be fine. We don't even need them. It's great. Vanek, you're going to play. What bothers me with Vanek is that sniper in him. It drives me up the wall. We're going to get rid of... Does any of these guys play center that we just signed? No, of course they don't. Tito can play, you can play. Who's not playing center right now that can play center? You're the 2nd line. You're the 1st line. Howden's there. Somebody's missing. Oh, it's Strom. Strom can play, but we don't want him on the... Yeah, that's the problem. You don't want him on the 4th line. I guess you can play here. You can play here, and you can play here. That would work. And then we can find a spot here for... what is it? Pominville? Is it Pominville in a bit? Yeah, Pominville. That'll help out there. Obviously, we're not going to start him there. We want him to be more of a depth guy. We're going to talk about moving Lemieux down the road. Kreider, Ito, and Pominville. That line looks to work, so we might stick with that one there. I don't like the -1 on the 4th line, but again, we're going to be trying to move a few players here. We're probably going to look for... It looks like we still desperately need a winger, unless Kreider can go right there. Kreider might work there. We're going to move Kako later anyway. That doesn't really matter where we put him for now. We'll see if Lemieux fits on this line anywhere. Yeah, Lemieux makes this line work, actually. So Lemieux, Howden, and Vanek on the 3rd line. So that's nice to see there that we can kind of work with that. But even looking from that standpoint, you can tell we still need to find a winger of some sort, maybe 2. On defense, again, they're probably not starting... Oh, they do have enough in. Who's missing? So nobody is, I guess. Stahl, we're still... Yeah, look at that. -3. Nice. Love to see that. Mark Stahl's got to go. Mark Stahl's got to go for that contract. Hate to break it to you, Stahlikins. What is he? He's a defensive defenseman. So is Lindgren. So we can, if we get rid of Stahl, then we can go out and I guess we'll have to, we could call the guy up from the AHL. That's always an option too. Or we can try to sign another defenseman in free agency. We'll see how she goes. But for now, we'll see if anybody even wants Mark Stahl. I'm going to say they don't, and we're going to have to pay to drop that contract. But it's a case with the Rangers where we don't have a choice. we really don't have a choice because Kakko's on a team-friendly deal right now on that entry level. And we need the rest of the players. We can't obviously let Zibanejad go. We can't let Panarin go. I mean, Lundqvist might be an option. I didn't really think about Lundqvist. I wonder what he's going for. But real quick, let's see. Where the heck is this guy? We'll filter by overall because he's probably got terrible trade value. Enough. So they're still all right. Anybody wants stall? Anybody going once, going twice, and sold to nobody as we expected. Unfortunate there. That is the trade block. Georgiev. Man, I forgot about all the goalies in the Rangers organization. No trade value for any of them. How lucky are we? We're going to have to trade Shesterkin. We have to. Shesterkin's going to have to go. We don't really have a choice because he's got the trade value and he's 23 and he's not going to progress. So we might as well try to find somebody out there that can progress for us, I guess. Georgiev kind of in there, but not a whole lot. So let's see if we can move this Mark Stahl contract. I imagine this is going to be a nightmare, but we'll see how it goes. We don't, but like I said, no choice. When you got that kind of cap issues, the only other option is Lundqvist, but he's an 87 overall, and that's still too good in this game to let go. So we have to keep on or hold on to him and accept that contract right there. So I guess we'll sort by contract, probably the easiest way to find him. Oh man, we have another guy in the AHL in Smith. Smith at $4 million a year too. Is that the guy we just sent down? Probably. Does anybody want Brendan Smith in his $4 million a year contract? Come on, somebody wants him. Somebody wants him. This will be a first if we go through every team and there's no green Nate light on here, I think. It really might be and nobody wants. Not a single team's falling for that one. So we'll move him first just because obviously we can, the other Mark Stahl is actually somewhat serviceable still. Ottawa, you got a lot of cap space. I know you guys like making trades for $4 million a year AHLers. I mean, look at the roster we got going here. Come on, you guys want it. You guys want it. Let's see what we can offer away here. I know you're not even going to give us a set. Well, look at all the picks Ottawa has. This is going to be a fun year if it's Ottawa. If you're an Ottawa fan, you better really hope this is a deep draft, which I honestly haven't heard much of it being so far. I've only really heard about Lafreniere, but I don't know. You never know. You never really know. Hopefully, for their sake, it is a draft that helps them out. Oh, and the Rangers got 2 first-round picks. EA updated that, too. Nice. We got something to work with here. We're going to have to offer up a third and probably more than that. Let's see. Trade rejected. This would be one of those occasions where you look at the trade block. Ottawa could start a deal. I didn't even read the rest of that. I just expected them to not want that. We'll have a fourth on there. Somebody's going to take this, please and thank you. Smith says he wants to be an Ottawa Senator. Your offer is filling our needs, but the value just isn't where it needs to be. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, okay. What you're trying to say is this is going to... Look at all the draft picks the Rangers have. Thank goodness. We're going to need those to dump all the salary cap. There you go. It cost us 2/3. That isn't that bad. You know what's crazy, as much as we joke about it, like we've seen this in the NHL now where teams give up first-round picks, second-round picks, and plus to dump big contracts to free up some cap space. So I don't really think we are in that bad of shape there. Now, here's the question. Does any team actually offer something up for Kaapo Kakko? I don't think so, because EA is not a big fan of like sending fair trades. That's one thing. I love that they added the trade finder this year, but I really hope they continue to take pages out of MLB The Show's book, because when you look at MLB The Show's find trade thing, it gives you legitimate good trade value players, right? It sends players back that are really good, and they make fair trades. They'll give you like 15 or 20 trades of players with the exact same trade value, players that are current, players that are prospects, whichever. So that'd be really sick to see if they could add that in next year. But for now, we're going to have to manually look for a Kaapo Kakko trade partner here. Rangers fans are going to love this one. So we're looking at Kakko, and the big question, it keeps coming up, is where do we find guys that come out and actually hold... they're a decent player, but at the same time, they don't have an immensely high contract, because that's something we have to be careful with here, because we know we have to get defense too, and defense is always going to run you $4 or $5 million a year per player, and we're kind of finding ourselves in a pickle, and I'm liking Couturier. I know, I'm sure the Rangers would love to trade with the Flyers. Probably not, but, I'm thinking Couturier here because he's a defensive specialist. He's got good, he's a decent player on the offensive side of the puck as well. He does fit on that forward line one. If we had to put Zibanejad on the second line, we could. If not, again, if Couturier fits on the second line, hey, that's great. Put Couturier on that second line. He can kill some penalties. Right now, I know we said he was looking for a winger, but keep in mind we can move Strome back to the wing as well here, and we could use some help down the middle. I think we could honestly, any forward spot here would work really well for us. So we're looking at Couturier. I don't think we can go any further. That's about the trade value maximum here for Kakko. So it's actually a little bit more for Couturier. So I can't imagine they take this straight up. We'll give it a try. Trade rejected. Yeah, I did not think so. They're going to want a little bit more than that. I understand that. Kravtsov, another young prospect. The good thing with the Rangers, they have all these young prospects, but EA not giving them a lot of love here. Notice that when you started going through the trade value stuff more and more, you don't really have that happy medium. You got like bang, maxed out, or bang, medium. And that's, you know, it's tough, but we're trying to make it work. I think we'll do all right here. Is that Elias Anderson? Is that the right guy I'm thinking of there? Yeah, it is. Anderson, you know what? You might work here. What if we throw, see, that's a lot still. I don't know if I want to throw that much on there if we don't have to. Ooh, prospect. I didn't know you had trade value, Mr. 73 overall. That's about the same, looks like value there. We're going to go a little bit lower. We'll throw a draft pick on, I guess. Maybe a second's a little bit less. Yeah, no, that's a third. The Rangers not have any seconds, and we trade them all away. There's a second. A second, yeah, we'll see what they think about a second here for Couturier. There it is, baby. Couturier for Kakko. And man, could you imagine seeing that trade come across the screen? Now, granted, Kakko after this year, maybe you're like, what a chance to take. But for Couturier, he's a quietly good player. You don't hear a lot about Couturier, but he does the things right that he needs to do, right? So we'll go to roster moves here. We just want to best lines this again. Now let's edit them. Let's edit them so EA doesn't mess with them all here. That is a hole clearly right there. We will put Couturier in the lineup right here. Substitute in all lines. Later he'll be moved. We'll see how he fits here. On the second line, let's see what EA actually thinks about his. He fits everywhere. Perfect. See, I like seeing that. He's pretty balanced there. What's he think about playing on the first line? It's not a big change, but I think that's a good spot for him there on the first line. Let's see. Passing, puck control, 90, 89. Because Panarin's going to do a lot of the work here. Hey, oh my goodness, can Panarin pass the puck? Oh my goodness, can he shoot the puck? He's just going to do everything. Maybe we should let Zibanejad play with him. Like Couturier logs some more, defensive minutes here on the PK and stuff where he ain't playing too many first line minutes. 89, 89 on a passing. What did we say Couturier was at again? Really close if I ain't mistaken there. As that's Zibanejad. Couturier is a little bit better defensively. He's a little bit better offensively too, actually, to believe that or not there. The extras, you just do it for us, EA. Just stick it in there for us, please and thank you. Here we go, Couturier. That is a defensive spot, so why is this not filled? Good question. Couturier is going to play there, though, because why not? We're going to change it again anyway here shortly, so it'll be all right. Oh, it's not a defensive position. It's a center position. I'm confused. I don't know which way they lay it out here. But we take a look. Improvements here. We'll look to see if Ryan Strome can improve this second line any, or maybe even the first. He does help the first. Buchnevich was a guy I liked there, but it looks like Ryan Strome could be better. Strome, playmaker. He's I mean, he's going to be playing with Couturier, so that helps, I think, there from that standpoint. Buchnevich was a sniper. That was a good spot for him up there playing with Panarin. That's what I'm afraid of here. But two playmaker. I know Panarin's a sniper, so we can make it work still. A little bit of balance there, but it's the defense we got to go after next. There's some big holes here on defense, particularly if we can just get an entire... Honestly, if we can pick up a first line guy and a second line guy and we can just kind of, cycle the other guys off the team here, I think that'd be great for us. We'll see if we can make that work. Still sitting, oh man, look at that cap space. 13 million here. Did I read something wrong? How do we have that much cap space? Couturier was 4 million. We dropped the contract. Is it because some of these guys don't... I swear it said we had 2 million in cap space before. I may have just went like 20 minutes into this video and completely thought we had far less cap space. No, it says cap space 5 million. Team cap hit 68 million. Buyout penalty 6 million. So are they not counting that? I guess we'll find out here. That's probably what the part of it is there. I was kind of throwing it out there. We'll see what happens when we propose a trade and we're, over the limit, but it doesn't say we're over the limit. Nonetheless, here, we're going to look for some defense. Again, if we could find two, I'd like a couple 85 pluses would be great here. I know it's going to be tough, though. That's going to be the problem here. We're going to have to look at the contracts, the trade value. Ooh, who's this? Giordano. Giordano's always such a good-looking one on this when it comes to trading for him. He never has a lot of trade value. We trade for him a lot, but oh, man, he fits everywhere. He fits everywhere, coach. Gotta get him. He just said, slot me in wherever you want. I'll give you 30 minutes a night. Might be a little bit tired that long, but we gonna go out there and play really good hockey. That's pretty much what he's saying here. How do you pass that up? How do you pass that up? 6 million a year. That's what I really like. Is I'd like we filtered 7 million and under guys here. If we could work with that, there's 5 million on Duncan Keith. Duncan Keith might work as well. How many years has he got left on that contract? He does work. He plays on every single defensive pairing as well. That's 2 guys. That's 2 really nice guys we could pick up there. Obviously, I'd like to go with Giordano here first. If we can pick up Duncan Keith as well. Make sure there's nothing else laying around here on cheaper value. 85 for 5 million a year. We could also go to 2.5 million a year. Or, yeah, Dougie Hamilton only wants on one line. I can't get past the fact that it's so hard to find guys that actually want to play on every single line. And to see that there's 2 guys just sitting there right in front of us. Petrie, solid 5 million a year. Deep pairing 2 only. Muzzin, solid. A little cheaper. Muzzin's always a nice one to pick up there as well. He fits everywhere. He doesn't want to play a penalty kill, so that might work for us as well. 3.7. If we could go Duncan or Muzzin and Keith, or we could even go, I don't know. We might have to do some cap. It's always tough for me. You guys gotta, again, the most feedback I can get, the better. It's tough because, see, I like the idea of moving a guy like Trouba. And then I know we'll get comments that'll be like, it's not even the same team anymore. It's not why tear apart the entire team and do this, and it's not as good that way. It's not as fun. But at the same time, that could be one comment out of 20, which essentially could be saying, hey, 95% of the people enjoy the way we're doing it. Rebuild the team, tear it apart, whatever you want to do to make it win. Or it could just be one person, and there's like 50 other people thinking it that just haven't said it. So the more feedback in the comments you guys give, it really does help a lot with these videos like this. So, sound off nicely, please. So we'll look here. Why are we looking at LA again? Because we're trying to trade away Mark Stahl. Okay. We will go 7th round pick. You got one laying around here. Of course you do. You want to trade it. Stahl for a 7th. What do you think about that? LA? I didn't think so, but we had to give it a try there. Again, we're going to have to send away some good draft picks in order to get these guys off of our hands here. We'll go with a 2nd, probably, or not a 2nd, but a 3rd. Probably going to cost more than that. It will. So we'll try a little bit more than that. They want to see our draft picks now, not later. So we'll try a 3rd now. And again, we'll throw on a 5th right now. I don't know if that's going to be enough. Again, it'd be great if it was. It's not. But we'll have to try a 6th and a 7th. We just, as little as we can give up here would be great. But it's going to cost us more. Mark Stahl, he's got 2 years left on a deal. So it's not a lot. But at the same time, we're asking somebody to take contracts off of our hands. A 3rd, a 4th. We'll go 2/3 and a 5th. That's not going to work still. Man, it's going to cost us a lot to get Stahl. We have to. We don't have a choice. You can't leave a guy that's a 78 overall on this team. Is it 78? There we go. Okay. All right. That cost us a lot. Cost us a lot of draft picks to make it work. But if we want to win right now, we got to get these guys off the books. We'll best lines it right now. Yeah, we'll come back to that in here in a second. Again, I love how it shows how much cap space we have until we go out and trade for a player. And they're like, oh, that tricked you. Not going to happen. So let's go, again, just take a look here where this sets us with the Giordano's talk here. I don't think we can do this. I think we're going to have to go to 2 cheaper defensemen, but we'll take a look here. So Giordano, that would give us, oh wow, we'd actually have 4 mil left in cap space, but we're tying our hands where we can't trade for any further players if we were to pick up defensemen here. That's the difficult situation we're running into here. Let me take a look at Giordano one more time. He says, put me on every line, coach. He says, do it. He says, do it, and we can't. I'll tell you what I do have in mind here as far as a cheap defenseman's concerned. I was kind of considering a Kako package deal earlier. That's Kevin Shattenkirk. Can he fit on this team is the big question here. Does he have a defensive pairing 1? You got to do us like that, Shatty, don't you? You got to do us like that. He was scouted for literally everything in a second line unit there, and it just wasn't fitting. At an 84, I mean, we can make it work if he fits really well in that first line. That's the thing. We have the room. And we can just balance it out and put somebody else on the bottom line. But when you talk about a guy at 1.75 million a year, you got to capitalize on those guys. There's not a lot of them out there. And if we can pick up a guy like Shat Deuces, that'd be fantastic. So we'll drop a 1st straight up. That's not going to be enough. We're going to have to draft or drop a little bit more there. We'll save the next Rangers draft pick. We ain't concerned about that. We can go forwards here. We'll go Lee. Did we go Lias already? Did we drop Lias? Let's try Lias. That's going to be a big overpayment. So we're going to see if we can possibly... It's going to be an overpayment for anybody. We went through the trade block, and there's literally nobody that wants to trade defensemen away that are good. So we're overpaying anybody that we want to make a trade with here, unfortunately. But that's just what you have to do to pick up defensemen, because two, I don't want to trade them away. So we'll try a 2nd. Tampa will be over the league maximum salary cap for next year. That is... How is that even possible? What's Leos making that would put them over the salary cap for next year when we're just trading something straight up? Excuse me? Is Leos getting paid next season? I didn't know about it. Must be. He has to be. See what his contract length is. Is it going to update here? Years remaining 2. Interesting. What about, I mean, it doesn't matter. What about Kravtsov? No, it's not going to work. So that's different. That is different. I don't think I've seen that before where it says they're going to be over the salary cap when we're giving them back less than they're giving us. So we're in a pickle here where we have to go draft picks only, it looks like. Didn't really want to have to do that, but I guess that's going to be the road we take here. We'll go a second. We'll go a third. We'll drop the Lightning draft pick. We'll try to do that straight up. Trade rejected. That's not going to happen. We're in a serious pickle right now trying to find players to actually trade for, because how do you run into this, Tampa? Talk to me. Talk to me about how I'm trying to trade you a player and you can't do it. There we go. That really wasn't that bad. A couple of seconds and a third. It's a guy that's a rental. That's obviously a lot. But in our case here where we had to make it happen, it wasn't too bad, I don't think, there. So again, we'll take a look at how this team's looking from a line standpoint. Maybe we can play a couple games and see how this goes. Again, the farther you get into the season, the easier it is to trade with a lot of teams, because when they start struggling, they're going to be sellers. But this team, it honestly does not look like a team that is ready to start winning games. I'm just going to be completely honest here. What happened? We lost somebody again. For some reason, they keep benching Vanek. That's what it was. So Vanek goes back in the lineup. Vanek can play the third line. That looks good there. Adds a little bit of balance. Again, the defense needs some work here. Why do you keep messing with my lines, EA? Who are we missing here? There's Zibanejad. There's Couturier. Who was our center before? They keep moving our centers for some reason. Couturier, Howden, Hedel. Oh, Hedel's right here. That's why. Okay, stop that, EA. You stop that right now. We're going to put you here. We'll put you there. That's better, but again, the wing needs work. The wing needs a lot of work. We look at defense, Trouba D'Angelo. You're not going to play. Always keep in mind, we do have that guy in the AHL to 78 if we want to go down that route ever here. Did we not just pick up a defenseman? Who was he scratched? Oh, you know what? Is there a bug that I am missing on here? Because they 110% just sent this guy on waivers. There's no doubt in my mind. Yeah, they did. Why? Why is the instant move for EA to just put guys on waivers? I don't think we're gonna have to go turn waivers off again, just like last time, because he is currently on waivers. I don't understand the logic of that when you trade for an 84 overall and EA says, hey, how do you feel about being on waivers? Why can't we not make this work? There's 5 guys on the roster. I guess it's gonna have to be a forward that has to get sent down, but let's see. Yeah, McKay, you can go. You're not gonna play anymore. It's obviously not. You will be required to fix your lineups after this confirm. Why does my confirm thing always not light up? I always think that doesn't work, but it did. That didn't work. Or did it? No, it did. We're good. Okay, perfect. All right, so we straighten that out real quick again for like the 6 millionth time. And what we're looking at here on defense is we're probably going to have to, we did bring a pick, but we're probably going to have to trade for a defensive defenseman real quick, because we can't put these two guys, both of them being offensive defensemen together. It will wreck things. So if we can balance that out real quick, that would help this team out drastically there. The defensive defenseman plus one's out, but we can't. I don't think we can put a 78 overall on the second line. I don't think we're in a position to do that. So we'll try to find somebody real quick here. We are going to try Yamerson. The guy says he fits on his second line. He's an 85. There's not a lot of defensive defensemen under any sort of relatively fair contracts when it comes to guys 84, 85 pluses, and actually being under 7 million. So we're kind of tying our hands here. It's tough with the Rangers forward defenseman we have here, because they have a couple solid defensemen, but we can't, that we're not going to move, but we have to make sure we properly match them up for them not to completely wreck it out there. So we're going to throw on a Rangers first, and we'll probably throw on, we never moved either of these guys. So Anderson first here, maybe. We'll see how that works. That looks fair. We're going to need more cap space, though. It's killing me. It's killing me how much more cap space we're going to need here. We're going to try to get them to retain 2 million, because I got a strong feeling after this was sim a couple games, but I got a very strong feeling we're going to need some work on forwards a little bit. Maybe not a lot, but a little bit to make this team better. And possibly even more on the defensive side of the puck as well here on the ice. I don't even know. Puck sounds cool. That's going to put them over the skid organization limit. I love you, EA. I freaking love making trades with you. It makes me happy every single day. I never just want to completely cry and run away. They want to trade this guy. He's 18. Oh, what a legend. 51 overall, 18 years old. Apparently, that's not going to get them back into the proper... Okay, I got you. So we'll try this guy. He's we don't want your NHLers though. 69. I guess they're up here because it's currently the preseason. So we'll try that. It's an overpayment. But that's what we're rocking right now. Overpayments for everybody. The surface looks great, but we are not keen on keeping the salary. Okay, fine. I'm sure you'll love that. We was overpaying a little bit for you to keep the salary, though. That was the thing. What about 1.5? Still not good enough. Anything we can get you to save here on this salary would be fantastic. We'll try $1 million. Okay, they're just going to be completely greedy about this and take no money at all. About 800K. Come on, EA. Come on, EA. Come on. Come on. Come on, be nice. Nice guys finishing first in this game. That's what they tell me. We'll throw on a fourth, and we'll drop it back up to $1 million. Think about that. A fourth for $1 million. I would take a fourth to retain $1 million. I'm just gonna throw that out there right quick. If I was a GM, maybe not. Actually, maybe not. What's a fourth round draft pick gonna be? But we'll drop to 3.5. Trade is rejected. They're really gonna take nothing. They're gonna take absolutely nothing for Yamerson. We're gonna say take my money. Thank you. Okay. Nice doing business with you. Appreciate it, EA. Hopefully that can be the key here to help this team win games. I'm not liking it. I am not comfortable with this offense right now. Just being completely honest, the offense and the defense, it feels like there's so many holes still here. D'Angelo, are you gonna be the one to play? He's the defensive defenseman. We're already talking about moving Enough, but it's gonna be him that doesn't end up playing here. Hey, I might be botching his name, and I deeply apologize. I'm probably triggering some fans here. That'll work though. That's better. That'll balance it out a little bit there. Just take a look to see if that changes anything. It won't. The top four is better then. Regardless, the bottom still needs work here. Maybe actually, let's see what happens here if we don't play enough. We just signed him. That's it's gonna keep us balanced though, so I ain't too worried about that. You can continue to play enough since you have the higher overall there. We'll work with that. The offense, we have Kreider, we have Couturier, Panarin, Zibanejad, and Buchnevich. Maybe they can spark something on the second line. As much as I'm concerned about it, it's guys like Howden that are really concerning me. He's the bottom six. How's Howden looking on defense, though? He's solid. That's what we can ask right there, or the most we can ask out of him, I guess, is play some stout defense for us. We do still have Stork in there if we ever need to go ahead and make further trades as well, which will probably end up having to happen here. Ryan Strome, Zibanejad, Couturier, decent. Panarin, I'd rather you up here. I'd rather have Couturier taking the draws as well. He's clearly the better face-off guy, right, EA? Like by 1.5 miles? Yeah, why would you want that? So that'll work there. Hito, Palmenville. Oh, +3. Don't even question it. Next line, please. Zibanejad. Again, Couturier, better center. What are you thinking there, EA? Penalty kill there. Again, Zibanejad, better center. I don't know what you're thinking there, EA. I imagine that's not actually the center spot, and that's the center spot. Good times. -3 and -2. That sounds like a good time. I would 10 out of 10 recommend doing this with our penalty kill in 5-on-3. Let's not take penalties, boys. That is what I am getting from this. No penalties, or it is going to get ugly. And there's no way our offensive defenseman is going to fit there. Yamerson can play there, though. That has to help, right? No, apparently not. Okay. We're just not in the position to fill off penalties, I guess. Yeah, we're going to be a -3 regardless of what we do here. That's concerning. I don't know what else we can possibly do. Just don't go on a penalty kill, I guess. Here we go. Let's get some games in. So here we go. Let's get a month of hockey in. 4-1 W to start the season. Nice 2-0 start. Long break. 2 games and then get off a week. I forgot about that. That's crazy how the Rangers started this season. They played 3 games in the first close to 2.5, or first 2 weeks in general, I should say, of hockey. 5-0, 6-1. We picked up a loss. Oh, we picked up a couple. But a 6-2 start. Rangers looking good early here. There's a loss to the Lightning, but the Lightning, they're a tough team to play here. Always a tough customer. There's a loss to the Senators. Can't afford that back-to-backs, and picked up both W's. 10-4. These Rangers, they can keep on moving on here as far as I'm concerned. A 10-4 start to the season. Can't be upset about that. A win against the Panthers. Overtime loss to the Penguins. There's a big W, though, against the Lightning. And then the Florida Panthers next. 13-4. Big start to the season for these Rangers. Beating up on Ottawa. 14-5-1. 20 games into the season. As per the usual, what we like doing here is when it's hot, let's keep riding it. When we hit that losing streak, that's when we want to slow things down, figure out where the problems are out on this team. There's a big L there against the Canadians on the back end of the back-to-back. The Rangers went from barely playing at all to playing like seemingly every single night here. The big W there again. Big W. 7-2. beat up on the Blue Jackets 6-1. This team is scoring goals and allowing them. There's 6 of them against the Canadians there. 4-0 shutout to the LA Kings. There's a 9-burger. A 9-burger. Talk to me, EA. A 9-burger. 21-11. No. There's a loss to the Leafs. We'll get one more week out of the way. I can't believe how much they play. It has to balance out, though, when you go from them first couple weeks and not playing. It is jamming them all in there. There's a back-to-back win and a loss. Split the series there, shall we say. Split those 2 games as well. 23-13. The Rangers find themselves sitting atop of the division right now in a very pretty spot. We'll take a look at how the team's doing, though, just to kind of get an idea if we want to make some moves at the trade deadline, what we might have to work on here. Looking right now, the Rangers, again, 1 point ahead of the Penguins for first place. 21 on the road, 63% penalty or power, 3.11 goals per game. The only team better right now is the Penguins, as you expect. 2.53 goals against. So the defense has been really good. That's good to see. The reason we've been winning games, clearly the defense might have one of the best defenses in the league right now. Best defense in the division. You look at the power play, 17% is average-ish. It'd be better, but for now it's working for us. Penalty kill, 83.7. First, I feel like the penalty kill is just completely random because we're rocking a bunch of guys -2, -3, and the overall is just still killing it. 11-8, 12-5 on the road. Pretty decent there. The Rangers, not looking bad right now. We'll take a look at how the points are shaping up right now, though. We're 7th in the league, though. So we're just having, per se, a weaker division. So we have to be careful with that. We don't have the most potent division right now. So we're in first, but we can't be too complacent. Panarin right now, 41, 34 points out of Couturier. Love seeing out of Couturier there. Ryan Strome, 28. Shattenkirk, 25. Doing well. +3. +11 out of Kreider. Zibanejad, 23 points. Not really flourishing right now in that second line, but he's still a positive player. He's still putting up points, so we can't be too concerned about that. Looks like just about everybody's a positive. Buchnevich is not a positive. How's he on the defense? 78 by 84 there. Not the greatest, 18 points, so we might have to think about switching that up. Thomas Vanek, again, it seems like 90% of the time that we sign these free agents, they get completely clobbered. Vanek is currently a -13. Adam Fox -7, Hito's a -15, so the bottom 6 is getting destroyed right now. Of all the places, the forwards are doing fine, but the top 6 is great. Bottom 6 not looking too hot, so we have to keep an eye on that. For now, though, let's get into January. Then we'll consider making a trade or two here. Try to fix that bottom 6. We might not get too far into January. Here come the losses. The road over there out west. It's tough to play. Overtime loss there. Can't lose to the Devils, and we did. That's it. Pause it. We done. We backing out. We got to make some moves here. Can't afford to keep these guys on the team and continue to take L's when they're that bad of a +-. We're going to look at Charlie Coyle. Coyle, a decent player, a two-way guy. Again, we're going to try to play the retained salary game, which probably will not work. Good news is it looks like that Carolina Hurricanes draft pick's going up a little bit in value, but right now he's a +0. Playing 4th line minutes, it looks like, for the most part, but he's putting up points. And he's a forward line guy, 3 for our team that you would fit. That's what we're looking for. Not really looking for a top 6 guy here. We're trying to find a guy that can just hold it down on the back end there so we ain't giving up a lot of goals when the bottom 6 guys are out there. So we have that to work with. The Hurricanes, again, that draft pick's looking nice. Other than that, we don't have a lot as far as the Rangers are concerned. They do have a couple first, so we could make a big splash here at the deadline if we had to. But right now, we're going to go Charlie Coyle, and they're not going to take that trade. Okay, fine. You don't take that trade, and we will add on Le Prospecto, because I know that's what you guys want. So we'll go Prospecto. Kravtsov, how you feel? Let's go Robertson. Trade value is about the same anyway. We'll go Robertson. We'll drop the second. How you guys feel about that? There you go. Perfect. Kind of an overpay, but, for a third liner. But, EA logic, that's what you got to do. Not a lot of guys on a trade block. Again, we went through a trade block. Can't stress it enough. We went through everybody on a trade block. And for the most part, there was maybe one team that was willing to trade guys, and that was San Jose. And the thing is, San Jose had all guys that were $5+ million, so we couldn't do that. So we're going to take out Lemieux. I think it's Lemieux. Let's see how the line's looking. Oh, geez, Lemieux's a +9. Maybe not. Lemieux, this line's been solid. The bottom line's been solid. It's been this line with Hito, Vanek, and Howden that's been struggling. Why they've been playing so dang much. Hito's been the big issue in general here. I don't know if we can move him. Howden can play center. He got the better draws? Yeah, he does. So Hito might have to get benched here to be I don't want to... Not when that bottom line's playing the way they are. I don't want to keep them in there that way. So we'll go ahead and see what we can do as far as... Coyle can play center. Who am I kidding here? Coyle can do it. We'll be all right there. So Coyle wants to play in a first line. EA, you lied to us. You never trust EA. So we got everything plus there. Is Coyle a better face-off guy here? 75, 76 looks like Howden is slightly there. But I think Coyle is better defensively. So I'd still rather see him play center if he can. It's not a big change there. Buchnevich, Kreider, again. It's solid, I guess. It's solid pieces across the board here. And the defense is something we're going to have to keep looking at and monitoring as we continue on through this season. Adam Fox right now, though, he is the glaring issue. There is nobody even remotely close to playing as bad as he's playing right now from a plus-minus standpoint. I don't know what this guy's doing, but what he's doing is not working. So hopefully he can turn it around because he's a key part of this team that we don't really want to move. 44 block shots, 24 giveaways, 13 takeaways. And it's not terrible, but it could be better. There's no doubt about that. Compare that with somebody like Hjalmarsson, who is currently sitting at, just for reference points here, 17 takeaways, 47. Yeah, it really isn't. He's blocking more shots. He's hitting more guys, though, Hjalmarsson is, than Adam Fox. That'll happen when you got those defensive defensemen like that, though. We could always move Fox and DeAngelo if we had to. Fox does like the second line a little bit better there. Or not the second line, but DeAngelo does like the second line a little bit better there. What if we switch that up? That's still going to keep the +1 there. Maybe that helps out a little bit since he ain't playing as many minutes. I don't know how he does playing with enough, though. But we'll give it a try. We are going to monitor this closely, though. Again, keeping in mind we're in first in the division, but it's a very tight race. I mean, you talk a losing streak, and we go from first down to fourth really quickly here. So we're going to keep this monitored closely. 3 games against the Islanders here in 2 weeks. That's a loss. That's not good. That is not good. That ain't good either there, New York. I don't like losing. There's a big W against the Blue Jackets and another loss against the Islanders. So we're going to have to likely make some moves here. We can't afford to lose to Detroit 2 games in a row, but we're going to continue to sim here. Hopefully we got some games in hand on some teams, and we do. That's nice to see at least. Got to beat the Red Wings. Got to beat the Red Wings. Beat them both times. Good to see there. We'll continue. We'll continue on here. Feeling confident. Got the boys on a win streak again. Playing a little bit of better hockey. That's good to see. Buffalo with the big game here at home, and it's going to be another victory, 6-3. Rangers playing some good ball once again. Love seeing it. Good puck. I'm going to keep calling it ball, though. There's a victory over the Kings. You got to beat those teams, and they are. That's important here because you're going to have some tough games against Winnipeg coming up, then Minnesota, then Columbus, and they're going to lose both of them as tough as they were as indeed. 32-21-4, though. Let's make a trade. Let's make a trade. This is going to be the big one. We go from here to the postseason. The Blue Jackets, the Rangers playing good, 56 points. And 57 games played for Panarin. So he's putting up the points for the team. 49 for Couturier. Strome's still a -2. Again, could improve the first line. It wouldn't hurt. Zibanejad's doing all right now. 36 points. Starting to balance it out a little bit there. Buchnevich, -3, -16 out of Hito still. Hito is not really changing much. Vanek's improving a little bit. Hito, not the same. Hito has been different. Let's go and look for a player, though. It doesn't really matter who it is, I don't think. Any forward at this point is kind of what we're looking at. Just take a look real quick, though. Make sure we don't need defense that badly, because it could actually help the team as well. See how we're doing from our goals for get. Again, Couturier helps this team out drastically from a defensive standpoint as a forward, though. So I think that was a great addition there. 2.98 goals for. Yeah, see, we're still doing great in the goals against department. It's the goal scoring is going down a little bit here. It's still not bad. All right, we're going back to Giordano. Why not? Why not do it? We literally just gave up the entire house to try to trade for Taylor Hall, who's $3 million on a 2-month rental. We gave up like 3 first-round draft picks, 2 stud prospects, and he is like, no. So it's not going to happen trading for a bigger name guy that is, high in the trade value department here. But Giordano, we've talked about it. He checks off the boxes, all defensive pairings. He looks great there. Rangers would be over the league maximum salary cap if we did that trade. We'll have you retain a little bit of this salary. We'll make it work. That's fine. I'm not too worried about it. If the overpay has to happen, the overpay has to happen. We'll go Giordano and 2 first. That being Carolina and the Rangers. The trade is rejected because of the current situation they are, because of what they are working with in the cap department. So we will throw on Lindgren and say, you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you very much. I'll take that. We're in a win now mood, or mode per se here, and we got to do what we got to do to win games over here in the land of New York. So here is how the lines are looking. Couturier, Kreider, Buchnevich, Zibanejad, Strome, Panarin, and the defense now is Shattenkirk, Giordano on that first line, Fox and Trouba. And then DeAngelo and Hjalmarsson. Actually, we want to put Fox on the third line, right? Because he hasn't been playing as well as DeAngelo has. So we'll leave Fox right there. That should work. for this team. Now, special teams, again, we may want to put in Giordano there on the power play, I would assume. Probably be a good spot for him there, so we'll stick him in there. And that'll help a little bit on the power play for that. And then that is the 4-man power play. That is the regular power play. I forgot about that. So Fox enjoys life right now where he is, so we'll leave him there. Again, we'll put Giordano in there on the power play for that line. That should help the team out there and hopefully give us that little extra push to get through playoffs. So here we go. I gotta be honest though, you get the feeling sometimes where it doesn't feel like a winner. And that's the feeling I get with the Rangers team we got right now. But it's winning games. Sometimes, you know, maybe that's the secret. You got to feel a little bit uncomfortable, win a few games. But right now, this team's in a very, very tough spot and a big losing streak. The last thing you wanted to see happen here was the Rangers to start reeling off those big L's. And now they find themselves on a massive losing streak and they can't seem to find their footing here. There's another L outside of playoffs. Now, you had to see it coming. Hopefully, we can turn it around here in the back end of March. There's a few more wins. Rangers starting to play a little bit better. Some big wins against the Rangers. Another big one against the Blue Jackets and then the Capitals. But this team's still on the outside looking in due to that little losing streak there. Tampa, big game. That's an L. Big game against Florida. That's an L. Team's going to miss playoffs. Team's gonna just back up to third. Big game against the Capitals, and the Rangers just squeak into playoffs. That was a close one, if I ever seen it right there. How did the standings look? Panarin 88 points, looked like a 94-point season. They did just squeak in there. Panarin, Couturier, big help. Strome minus 13. That was a guy we should have probably followed a little bit closer there as well. Again, always taking the feedback from you guys. Love hearing it. But for now, Zibanejad, -4. Shattenkirk, a -10. Shattenkirk on that first line being a -10. That is killer. Was it that back half of the season when those guys played together? They just dropped the ball completely? It must have been. D'Angelo was killing it. But we had to put those guys there as we did because otherwise it did not work out well. Fox ended up a -16 still. Look at D'Angelo, though, +30. Do we consider it a bad stretch? Or do we consider changing this team up going into playoffs? The Rangers did finish second in the division after all that against the Capitals. They're going to get home ice here in the first games. The goals against went up drastically. 2.84 goals against average on the season. One little change. You find it hard to believe it was just all in that, but it could have been. It could have just been a bad stretch as well. Lundqvist, .905 save percentage. He could have kind of cooled down there to end the season as well. 36 wins. That may have played a factor in it too. We'll see. We'll take a look at these lines here real quick though. I mean, you look at the lines and what we can make happen is just Giordano and Trouba on the second line +3. But besides that, it's tough. It is so very tough though to go on with that. I think what we could make happen here is Shattenkirk being switched here to the second line. Yamerson and Giordano in the first. That would probably be best for business here because I know Shattenkirk was struggling or during the season with Giordano. So if we could split those two up, hopefully that can help this team a little bit more going into playoffs against these Rangers or against these Capitals. We will see. Got to see if we can take a couple here. Game number 1, big W. Game number 2, big fat L. Going into game 3 in Washington, we'll see if we can get out of this first round. There's an overtime loss right there. It's going to be tough. Got to steal this one in Washington if we want to continue here. Or we could lose. There we go. Series split 2 apiece. Back home in Washington, or back home in New York, got to win it and got it. 5-2 victory. We'll try to sim through this as quick as possible. I know we were far into the video, so we probably won't jump into too many live games. There's a loss. Game number 6. Here we go. Game 7. Winner takes all. Loser's going to be walking home here in Washington or in Pittsburgh or in New York. We'll get it right. We're deep into the video. It's a grind to get through all of this stuff, I guess, right? Can't speak properly. There's the big W, though. The big dub going to the second round. Going to face the Pittsburgh Penguins, the winners of the division, the team with an absolutely dynamite offense this season. How will they play these New York Rangers? So far, they find themselves down 2-1. We win this one in New York, and the Rangers are looking pretty. Not in this game, because 3-1 leads are the worst lead in the world in EA games, but in general, looking pretty. Series split, 2 apiece again. Heading back to Pittsburgh, though. Can we steal one in Pitt? Yes, sir, a big one. 7-0. A chance to upset the Pittsburgh Penguins at home. Can we do it? Nope. Going to a game 7 once again. Rangers, Penguins, game 7. Who's gonna take it? It's gonna be the Rangers once again. The line change seems to be paying off right now. 2 goals for the Penguins in that one. We're going to Tampa, though. It doesn't get any easier than this, or any more difficult than this. Easier than this. Could you imagine? Down 2-0 early. 2-0 early. A conference finals appearance, though, for the Rangers. I think you got to be happy with it. There's a victory. Not out of it yet. Not out of it yet. There's 2 more wins. They've been splitting the series as going to game 5 every single round so far. These Rangers have in Tampa. Can they steal one in Tampa? They cannot. It is do or die here for these New York Rangers. Down 3-2, heading back to Pittsburgh. Can they take this victory and bring it to a game 7? And they can. We got to jump into this one. This is for an appearance to the Stanley Cup Finals. The Rangers got a chance to upset the ever so dominant Tampa Bay Lightning in Tampa Bay. End it. Period 1. Stammer and Palat. All right, maybe it's going to get ugly. Maybe not. Rangers got some fight. Period 2. Sorelli, Kreider, and Strome. It is not over yet. We're heading to the 3rd. Rangers on the power play. Rangers can't do anything with it, but it has been all Rangers. There's another power play, and they can't do it again. Big save by Lundqvist, though, keeping his team in it. Can the New York Rangers just inch one across the board? That is the question. It does not appear it's going to happen, but they got 5 minutes left. Got to show a little bit of faith here. Gonna have to pull the goalie here shortly. Maybe nudge one in there. It's getting tight, though. I don't think the Rangers are going to do it. Unfortunate, but guess what? Conference finals, game 7 against the Lightning. I would say that was a pretty solid rebuild for the Rangers. We had a lot to work with, or a lot of pieces to fixate here this round, and I think we did a solid job there. Otherwise, though, guys, if you enjoyed the video, a big thumbs up and subscribe is always appreciated, never required. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next time.